There are spiritual things going on in the world, and that there are things that are bigger than just coincidence, and that a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way.
Yo, things just took a turn that nobody saw coming. We already knew Diddy's situation was bad, but it just got a whole lot worse. And guess who added fuel to the fire? None other than Katt Williams. Yep, Katt walked in with a whole gas can and dropped it right on the flames. Now, if you know anything about Katt Williams, you know he doesn't hold back. He's always been someone who speaks his truth loud and clear. He's made bold claims in the past, hinting at strange things happening in the world of celebrities. He's called people out before, sometimes even naming names, but this time, he's not just talking. He's pointing fingers and saying he has real proof.
I think everything is controlled and regulated.
Katt says he's been talking directly to federal agents. He's not saying he heard something from a friend or someone whispered it in his ear. He's saying that he personally handed over information to the authorities. And the wildest part? He sounds completely calm about it, like he's not scared at all. He's out here naming names, spilling secrets, and acting like he's ready for whatever comes next. Katt's never been someone who followed the Hollywood rules. He's never played by the industry standards. When he says he's not part of the system, it makes sense. Everything he's done over the years proves that. So, this isn't just some random rant. This feels like something he's been planning to reveal for a long time. Think back to his interview with Shannon Sharpe. Remember that one that went viral? He hinted at a lot of shady things going on in the background. He talked about fake friendships, private parties with weird energy, and people giving up their morals for fame.
Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
People thought he was just being dramatic or trying to stir the pot. But now that the Diddy case is in the courts and real documents are coming out, a lot of what Katt said suddenly sounds believable. One of the major things he mentioned in that interview was Diddy's freak-off parties. He claimed that celebrities were attending these events, ones that weren't as innocent as they seemed. Fast forward to today, and guess what? Those same types of events are being referenced in official investigations. The FBI is talking about them.
Carter is responsible for enacting Katt Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone.
That's not a coincidence. That's a connection. Katt also once said he knew where the bodies were buried. He didn't mean that literally. He meant he knew the dark secrets, things that people thought would never come to light. And now, with sealed documents getting unsealed and more information coming out, it's starting to look like he wasn't just talking. He might have really been holding on to this stuff for years, waiting for the right time to speak up. And Katt's not just focused on Diddy. He says this isn't about one man. It's about a whole group of powerful people. People who seem polished and clean on camera, but behind the scenes? That might be a different story. According to Katt, it's a web of influence, money, control, and silence. Let's talk about some of the names now being connected, at least indirectly, to this situation. And we're not talking about assistants or unknown managers. We're talking about big names like Whitney Houston, Mike Myers, and Mariah Carey. Now, let's be clear, these celebrities are not being charged with any crimes. But court documents mention events or parties they may have attended. When your name shows up in reports tied to federal investigations, even if you're not accused of anything, it makes people talk. It creates doubt. It makes the public ask questions. And that's all Katt needed. Because now, what he said months ago is showing up in court paperwork. That makes his claims harder to ignore. Let's back up for a second. Katt has been dropping hints for years. Remember when he went after Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Ludacris, and Ricky Smiley? At the time, it felt like random beef. Like maybe Katt just had problems with them personally? But looking at it now, maybe he was trying to warn us. Maybe he was trying to show us that these public figures weren't who they seemed to be. Take Tyler Perry, for example. Everyone knows his story rising from struggle to stage plays, then becoming a massive success in movies and TV. But Katt suggests that some of that rise may have had outside help. He claims that people from Diddy's circle were backing those early movie premieres. If true, that means Tyler's rise wasn't just hard work. There may have been people with power pushing him forward for their own reasons. Ricky Smiley's another name Katt brought up. To most people, Ricky's just a funny guy from the radio and stand-up. But Katt says Ricky wasn't just showing up to parties, he was in the private rooms. The places where real deals are made. The rooms where careers get built or broken. Katt suggests Ricky's rise didn't happen by accident. It was planned by the people running the show. Then there's Steve Harvey. Katt says Steve stole a sitcom idea from him and turned it into the Steve Harvey Show. And he didn't stop there. Katt also accused Cedric the Entertainer of taking one of his signature jokes, one that got Cedric noticed by industry insiders. And guess where both Steve and Cedric were seen hanging out? That's right, at Diddy's events. So the question is, were they just party guests? Or were they benefiting from being close to someone with that kind of influence? Katt's not necessarily saying they did anything illegal. But he is saying this, when you see the same faces showing up in the same places, it's worth paying attention. These relationships might not be random. Now, here's where it gets even more surprising. Katt even mentioned Bishop D. Jakes. Known for his sermons and powerful messages, D. Jakes is seen as a spiritual leader, but Katt claims he's also shown up at events tied to Diddy's circle. Again, no one's saying he did anything wrong. But when someone preaches on Sunday and then appears at private Hollywood parties during the week, it raises questions. Kevin Hart's another name that Katt's questioned. According to him, Kevin didn't just rise through comedy. His early success had Diddy's influence behind the scenes through production credits, music deals, or financial backing. That doesn't mean Kevin did anything shady. But Katt believes those deals weren't just out of kindness. They were business moves. And in business, there's always something expected in return. Maybe loyalty, silence, or playing along. Then there's Jaguar Wright, who made serious claims about Jay-Z. She said Jay helped cover up certain things and possibly even helped Diddy avoid being fully exposed, all to protect his own empire. Katt didn't confirm this, but he didn't deny it either. He's hinted that Jay-Z plays both sides, staying clean while everyone else catches heat. And if you look closely, Jay really hasn't been touched by all this. He stayed at the top while others fall. Now, let's get to the court case. Because this isn't just internet gossip anymore. This is real legal stuff. Federal agents have raided both of Diddy's homes. And they didn't just walk in and grab a few documents. Reports say they found serious materials, things tied to RICO charges, intimidation, and possibly even witness tampering. One of the most disturbing claims: a 13-year-old girl was reportedly harmed after the 2000 VMAs. And names mentioned in connection with that event? Diddy and Jay-Z. That's not something you can ignore. And it doesn't stop with Diddy. His son, Justin Combs, is now being dragged into the mess. Court documents suggest he hosted some of these private parties that are now under investigation. Imagine trying to build your life, go to school, live outside your father's shadow, and suddenly your name is being pulled into a scandal like this. That's a heavy burden to carry. Meanwhile, Diddy isn't staying quiet. He's now facing claims of trying to silence people. One of the biggest examples is Kenna Harper. She used to be in a band with Diddy, and now people say she's been flooded with calls, messages, maybe even pressure not to speak. Katt claims Diddy is using all kinds of methods: direct calls, mutual contacts, maybe even threats to keep folks from testifying. And let's be real. If the main witnesses disappear or stop talking, the whole case could fall apart. That's not just a media problem, that's a real legal strategy. For years, Katt Williams has been warning people. He's been shouting these things while folks laughed, called him crazy, or said he was bitter. But now, people are starting to see what he meant. Maybe he wasn't ranting. Maybe he was the only one bold enough to speak the truth when everyone else stayed quiet. So now we ask the question, what does this mean for everyone else? Did these celebrities know what was happening? Were they truly involved? Or were they just guilty of being in the wrong place at the wrong time? It's hard to say. But one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. More names are coming out. More layers are being peeled back. And the truth? It's getting harder and harder to hide. What do you think? Are these celebs caught up by accident? Or is there a deeper story behind their success and connections? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Because this rabbit hole just keeps going deeper, and we're only scratching the surface.